Everyone, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. This is Kel May, the customer service coach with Bottomline Customer Experience Management. I train employees, teens, and young adults on customer service techniques in order to enhance the customer's experience, which is the best way to increase the bottom line for the company. And I do that through virtual and classroom trainings. Hi, Gardenia. Hey, Calvin. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Let me invite my followers for a minute. Hey, Renita. Thank you so much for joining. And hey, how you doing? Hadn't seen you in a while. I am going to do Periscope and Facebook Live all together at the same time as I like to do now. How you doing, Renita? I hadn't seen you in a while. I was kind of concerned because I hadn't even seen you put much on Facebook lately. But thank you, everyone. Hey, call me as soon as you get off the scope. Yes, I will call you, Kelvin, as soon as I get off. Thank you. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. I appreciate it. This is not going to be a long scope. As you see, I'm still dressed from today. I haven't even taken off my clothes or anything, and I normally don't scope this late at night. But I wanted to come on because I didn't. I'm not having my normal segment that I have on Friday nights with this On Front Street with Kel May, where I introduce an entrepreneur or business owner to the platform of Periscope, letting them know what Periscope can do for their business. So I didn't have anyone for today. So I still wanted to come on and make sure I do my same scope that I, do Monday through Friday. So today I wanted to do something that's called No More Excuses. And I wanted to do this the other day, but it came back to my mind again today after I had to tend to some business later on this afternoon. So again, let me explain who I am, or let me say who I am. My name is Kel May. I am the customer service coach with Bottomline Customer Experience Management. Hey, Toya, thank you so much for joining. I train employees, teens, and young adults on customer service techniques to enhance the customer's experience, which is the best way to increase the bottom line for the company. The name of my company is Bottomline Customer Experience Management. And we do that through our virtual classes, our site visits, our classroom settings, and through secret shoppers. So that is what I do. But today we're going to talk about customer service, and it's titled No More Excuses. And the reason I wanted to do that, when you go into a company or when you're shopping, when you're a consumer, think about when you go in and you have a problem with something, or you call on the phone. Hey, Shell, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. When you have a problem, you call on the phone or you go into the store and they say, you know what, I'll get someone to take care of this for you and we'll give you a call and we'll let you know that everything is going well. Well, you go back in because you haven't heard from them. How you doing? You haven't heard from them. Hey, Green, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. You didn't hear anything from them. So you go back into that location and you begin to talk to someone else. And the first thing they begin to do is make excuses of why this situation hadn't been resolved for whatever reason. I'm sorry, I wasn't the one who took the complaint at first, or I apologize that this happened, but no one told me about it. If you're the manager, no one passed this information on to me. I didn't know I need to call you back. They just give you all these excuses of why whatever the situation is hasn't been taken care of. How many of you all out there get so sick of that? And I know I do. And it happened to me today. I had to get some prescriptions refilled for my dad. I've been calling the doctor's office for 3 days, 3 whole days. So I called today and they tell you now that you have to have your pharmacy to send something electronically to the doctor, right? Before he can send your refill in. Well, I got Walmart to do that. They sent the information to the doctors. Every day I've been calling. They said, well, the doctor haven't responded to us yet. So I called the doctor myself and I spoke to the nurse. So the nurse told me what I needed to do, which was the same thing. I need to have Walmart to send it electronically. I said, we've already gotten past that point. They've already sent it to you, but they haven't gotten a response from you. Well, I wasn't the one who go into that. She went through all these excuses. Why? And I'm sitting on the phone saying, ma'am, I just need to have the refill sent in. No matter, what the excuse is, I just need to have his refill sent in so I don't have to keep coming to Walmart, or I don't have to keep calling Walmart. I just need you to send the information in. So she said, oh, I understand. I was just trying to tell you why, probably some of the reasons why you hadn't gotten it, because I didn't want you to think that we didn't care about it and we didn't take care of it, I said, but you didn't take care of it. It doesn't matter what the reason is. You didn't take care of it. You didn't send it back to Walmart electronically, or you didn't approve it, or whatever the reason was. But it's still an excuse, and I'm on the phone listening to you for an additional 30 minutes, giving me excuses of why you didn't do something, instead of keeping me on the phone for 5 minutes saying, you know what, while I have you on the phone, I'm going to go ahead on and approve that, and I'm going to send it back to Walmart. We're done. I'm on here another 30 minutes listening to your excuses. That is not what a customer wants. They want you to take ownership, and they want you to take action for the problem. They don't want to hear your excuses. It doesn't matter to them. It could be a great excuse why it happened or why it hadn't been taken care of. But guess what? We don't care as consumers. We only want you to take care of the problem. Take ownership of it. I apologize that this hadn't been taken care of. Let me go ahead on and do X, Y, and Z to make sure it's done now while you're here in front of me or while you're on the phone. That's taking ownership of something. That's taking action. You're doing something while I'm there. I can see you do that. We cannot begin to hold customers up and telling them this, because you're going to lose customers. And I thought this was something great going into the weekend, because, hey, Gardenia, thank you so much for joining. Because the weekend is when all of the people who have been at work all week long trying to get you to do things for them. Hey, Ruby, I didn't see you on there. Thank you for joining. The weekend is the time that all those people that have been busy at work trying to get you to do things, and they're coming in now to see why they haven't been done. So I'm telling you now, don't start off with your excuses. Start off with taking ownership of the situation, even though it may not be your issue, right? Take ownership of it and then take action and do something about it. Hey, Keely, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. On Facebook Live, not on Periscope. That's my Perry family, but she's on Facebook Live today. So we have to make sure we have to stop making those excuses, right? The customers want us to be responsive. They want us to take care of them once something happens. They want you to be responsive, and they want you to, hey, red, yellow, green, thank you so much for joining. They want you to take care of them then. Don't take their, time is so precious, right? We have so many things that we have to do as consumers. We have so many things that we need to have done. We do not want you to take our time up giving us excuses of why things are not done. Take ownership of them. Take action. Take care of the customer. Don't tell them it wasn't your responsibility. You wasn't the person they talked to. Take ownership of it. I apologize. And that is so hard for us as humans. And I say that on a whole lot of my scopes, no matter what the topic is, because that is so hard for us to apologize for something that we didn't do. Guess what? They don't really care. They just want great customer service. Thank you so much. They just want to hear you say, you know what? First of all, give them that 2 or 3 minutes to go ahead on and deflate, right? To put all that vomit on you. Talk about everything they need to say. And then say, you know what? I apologize. I'm going to take care of you. That's all they want to hear in the end. And you have solved an issue. You have saved a customer for their business or for your business. But even if it's not your business, remember, the only reason you are an employee there because that business has customer that needs whatever they're selling, right? So you want to make sure you're taking care of every customer. I told you in the beginning, this was not going to be a long scope. This is just something I want to remember you, especially going into the weekend, because the weekend is when you have most of your problem customers coming in with complaints. And I want you to know how to take care of them, how to improve their customers' experience by improving your customer service. So make sure you are not giving excuses to your customers. Make sure you are taking action. You're being responsive for it. You know what? I do apologize. I am going to take care of that for you. And if it's something you can't do, give me just one moment. I'm going to go and get a manager. Now, if a manager doesn't come and take care of that, then hey, I actually got on Facebook notification. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So if the manager doesn't take care of it, it falls back on the manager. But do what you need to do as an employee and take care of the customers and not give them excuses. Y'all, it is so late. Let me read my notes because I wanted to make sure I got everything done. Even though it's a short scope, I wanted to make sure. Oh, this is the other thing, because this happened when I went to pick the prescriptions up at Walmart. The person could not find the information, right? So I had 3 people I was getting prescriptions for, myself, my dad, and my husband. So the person could not find my husband. They had two different pomades. Of course they do. They have a pomade senior and they have a pomade junior, of course, because I have both of those, and they probably have even more than that. So she was looking up on a different profile, and evidently it was for my son because it was for the month of October for the birthday. Finally, after sitting there looking at the computer for 15 minutes, she finally asked me the birth date. And I kept explaining because she just didn't look like she understood what was going on. And they normally ask you the birth date when you first call. So she may have been new. I don't know. I didn't ask. It's late in the evening. I didn't really care. I just wanted to get the prescriptions. I wanted to get out of line, and I wanted to come home. But if you're sitting here taking care of somebody and something is going wrong, you are silent for 5, 10, 15 minutes. What is happening to the customer during that time? What is happening to the customer when you're sitting there silent? Are they getting irritated? Yes, I was getting irritated. And my husband was with me, and he kept asking me, what's going on? What happened? What'd she say? I said, oh, she hadn't said anything. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just standing here waiting for her to respond. Hey, Miss Irma, thank you so much for joining. I received your beautiful card. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad you got your book. That was nice of you. Thank you. So, you see, I kept it. It's very pretty. So I just wanted to say, make sure that you're telling them, just like when someone is on the phone, every now and then you come back and you said, thank you for waiting. I'm still trying to take care of the issue. Do you mind holding on? Hey, Bernard, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. It's some beautiful roses on there. But just like when you have someone on the phone and you're saying, you come back every 2 or 3 minutes, you said, thank you for holding. I'm still figuring out the situation, or I'm trying to get under control. I'm reading the notes or whatever. Do you mind holding on a few minutes? It's the same thing if a customer is standing in front of you. Make sure you don't stand there with a long silent period and not saying anything, because the customer is getting upset. Thank you. The customer is getting upset while you're just sitting there looking at them, or you're just sitting there looking at a screen. I can tell you don't know what you're doing because you're just sitting there, right? Why not? If you're doing something and you have a problem, don't be too proud, especially if you're a brand new employee. Don't be too proud and trying to figure everything out yourself. That's why you have other people working with you. That's why you're on a team, right? Looking like you are lost. Exactly. That's exactly how they're looking, Miss Irma. They look like they're lost. And my husband's just saying, and he's coming back over, and he knows I'm getting irritated. And it's irritated me even more because he's keep coming back over. What did she say? Did she say anything now? Have they found him? Have they got him? Is it here? Have they filled him in? What do we have to do? And I'm looking at him like, oh my God. So, of course, I'm always going to take everything out on him because I'm trying not to react to her, because I feel that she's a new employee, right? They have to have time to be trained. So I was like, excuse me, ma'am, I have other things that I need to go and get while you're looking for the prescription. Is it anything else you need to ask me before I walk away? Have you found them? Is everything going okay? Joanne. Hey, Miss Joanne, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. So, don't just sit there and look at the computer while you're doing there. I'm so critical because I have customer service in my blood. And I try not to be, because my family do not like to go shopping with me. So I'm trying to get better because I always have to say something, right? Thank you, Keely. So I always have to say something. Thank you for sharing and inviting your followers. I always say something to them. So I'm trying to get better by it, right? Especially when you're going in and you're trying to advertise and you're interviewing with these people and you're trying to bring your training in. You have to go in with a different type of attitude, right? So I try to say some things to them to help them along the way, but I try not to be demeaning to them. And before I was a little demeaning because my patient kind of wears thin, because I've always had to give good customer service, and I expect that when I go somewhere. But again, I saw that she was like a new employee, so I know she needed to have that additional training. So I'm trying to ask her things to help her along the way, and so I can get from in front of her, so I won't have to keep staring her down and getting more irritated as my husband began to ask me more questions. But that is the time when, if it's going to take you 2 or 3 minutes and you don't understand something, and you see the customer standing there in front of you, especially sometime late in the evening like this, you had to know I've been to work all day, even though I don't go to a job. I've been to work all day. I have all these other things. I'm in traffic. It's in the evening time. It's time to get home. It's cold outside. And luckily I wore stockings today because it was cold today in Georgia anyhow. But take that time. Don't be so proud. And a lot of people are too proud to go and ask someone something. That is something I never was too proud of. I always think the only stupid and dumb question it is the question that you don't know the answer to it, but you will not ask anybody. That's a dumb question, right? Because you don't know something and you want to be too proud to not go and say something to someone else so they can give you the right information. If you can't find something, you don't know how to do something in the first 5 minutes, go and find someone, ask them, and watch them as they're going through the steps so you can learn how to do it. But don't stand there silent in front of the customer trying to figure it out yourself. Unless you're saying something to the customer, right? If you're saying something to the customer's being jovial with you, and then, they're smiling, they're talking to you, and you're having conversation, you're watching the body language, and the body language is okay, just let them know what you're doing. But 9 times out of 10, even if I'm having a good conversation with someone, I'm going to stop if I haven't heard you say anything to me in 5 or 10 minutes, right? I'm wondering what's going on. So don't be so proud. Don't stand there in front of the customer service. It's so important. It really is. And a lot of places think it is not the most important thing. It truly is the most important thing. Versus it's not the most important thing, because I always say your employees are also your most important thing as well, because if you take care of them, then they're going to make sure they give your customers, they're going to take care of your customers as well. So it's 50-50 with that. So it is the most important thing, but your employees are just as important as your customers, because without them, you can't take care of your customers either. So you have to take care of your employees as well as your customers. And I always like to reiterate that. So make sure that you are taking action on people. You're not just sitting there making excuses. Hey, Mr. Quan, I'm getting to the end of it. It was just a quick scope I wanted to do today to give people who are working in customer service some tips on making sure that hey, Quinette, thank you for joining, making sure that they're not giving excuses to their customers. My people perish for lack of knowledge. As a new entrepreneur, I try to explain to customers exactly. But a lot of people don't think they have to explain, especially if they own their own company, but you do. Your customer service is so important for you keeping your customers, because customers now are not loyal to you, right? They will jump and go somewhere else and not come back. And then what happens? You lose money. And that's the tips that I'm trying to give you now, so that you won't lose those customers. You won't lose that money, right? So that's important. So make sure that don't become defensive and do not give excuses. That is so important. Don't become defensive when someone is asking you something. When they're asking you something, it's because they don't know and they want you to explain. If you don't know the answer, I apologize. I don't know the answer to that, but I can go and find out for you. You can always say you don't know the answer to something, but I can go and find out. That's why you work on a team. I don't expect for anyone, I thank customers for being patient. Miss Joanne, yes. So it's not about you knowing everything. I don't walk into a Kroger's or a Walmart or a Target or a Ross or Macy's or anywhere and expect any employee to know what everything is or to have the answer to every question that I may ask them. No one should go in as a consumer. We shouldn't go in expecting that. But guess what? You work on a team. You can find the answer out to whatever question that the customer is asking you, right? I try to remind entrepreneurs the importance of customer service in my scopes also. That is so important, Miss Irma. Thank you so much. That's a need out there for everyone. That's why I tell everyone we're not crabs in a barrel. There's so much business out there for all of us to get, because everyone needs improvement on customer service, right? So there's enough business out there for everyone. But just remember, don't leave your people sitting there. Don't be silent with them. Don't get defensive with them. Don't make excuses to your customers. Take action and take care of whatever they come in, whatever their complaint is. And that's what we're talking about today. Do anyone else want to add anything on Facebook Live or on Periscope today? Hey, Alan, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Yes, the customer service is key, and we must never stop learning. Exactly. And that's why I read up a lot. That's why I use all my social medias, and I collaborate with other people that are in customer service so that we can get together and learn from one another. You should always be learning, because it's always changing, right? Because before, it wasn't about all of this social media. Now it's all about this social media. So now we have to read up and train up on that, because that's where the comments or the complaints are coming to now, right? So we have to know how to take care of those. So I appreciate everyone joining me on Facebook Live. Thank you everyone that's going to watch the replay, everyone that's on here from the web, and everyone that's on here live. I truly appreciate you. I never take it lightly that you take a few minutes out of your day to join me on either platform that I'm on. Remember, on Wednesday, that's every Wednesday, I will be doing a blab at 2 Eastern time. Every week it's going to be a different subject, and we will always have 3 different co-hosts. Last week we had so many technical issues because, again, Blab is just like Periscope. It's in beta, all right? So that means you're going to have some problems coming along, but stick with them. It's a great platform on, and I think we have some interesting topics that's helping entrepreneurs and business owners kind of help their businesses, right? And that's what it's all about, giving back and trying to help businesses. I love Blab. I have enjoyed. I think that was number 5 last Wednesday, and I enjoy them. I enjoy talking, I believe, anything that's live video, and that's why I like to do Facebook Live and Periscope at the same time. So thank you, everyone. I am going to be on tomorrow, so please join me. I don't know what time yet, but I'm going to be giving away 2 different books because I haven't given all my books away yet. You're welcome, Miss Joanne. You're welcome. I think, and I love talking. I love talking to Miss Irma. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. So everyone that's on Facebook Live, everyone that's on Periscope, I'm going to be giving away 2 books on tomorrow. My 2 books are going to be by Mrs. Sandra and Octavian Braxton, her and her husband, Why Not Us? So I'm going to give this book away tomorrow. Thank you, Miss Irma. And I'm also going to give the book by Sharonda and Kim Martin, The Gratitude Experience. These are some beautiful ladies here. They just got nominated for something I was reading on Facebook before I came on Periscope, so I can't tell you exactly what, but they got nominated for some type of award. So join this, and they have a great book. They have some great spirits. So these are my 2 books that I'm going to be giving away tomorrow. So join me on tomorrow to get your books, and I'll send them to you like Miss Irma. Everyone don't have to be as nice to send me a beautiful thank you card when they get their books, but Miss Irma decided to send that, and that was very cute. Thank you, Miss Joanne. Thank you, everyone. I will see you on tomorrow afternoon. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.